Make the lines.
Ready?
2, 3. Yay! We won.
So the USOC just called me and let it be known that they have chosen Salt Lake for a potential future Winter Olympic and Paralympic bid on behalf of the United States of America. And we are so grateful that Salt Lake City and this state of Utah was chosen by America to represent us in a potential future bid. I would like to turn some time over to the governor. Everyone wants to say a few words, and then we want to go to questions. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Again, this has been the culmination of a significant team effort, starting with the support of the public. The people of Utah want us to be able to do this again. They remember the success we had in 2002, the Winter Olympics. They know we still have the venues. We have a great location, conveniently accessed from around the world. We have the experience and we have the know-how in order to put the Olympics on. So in many ways, this is something we've been hoped for, and it's the culmination of the efforts of many. Congratulations to Mayor Biskupski, Jeff Robbins, and Fraser Bullock, again, leading the team effort. We've talked to President Niederhauser, who's in Washington, D.C., and unable to be here, representing the legislature, and again, their support. So this really is a team effort coming together here. This is just one of many steps to get the games. This is not the end. This is really an opportunity to step closer to that opportunity and have the IOC pick Salt Lake City as the games in some future date. But I can tell you this, we've been known here as the ability to host the world. We're great hosts. We have volunteerism. People come together. The public support is remarkable. By virtually every account, the 2002 Winter Olympics were the best Olympics in history of the Olympic movement. The only way they can be better is if Utah does it again. And we're hoping to do that. So, congratulations, one and all. We look forward to a future date and hosting the Winter Olympics.
Great.
Fantastic.
I'd like to turn some time over to Council Member Erin Mendenhall.
Thank you, Mayor. Just this morning, I was at the grocery store. I saw a woman from my neighborhood wearing her 2002 volunteer parka. I said, "Nice jacket." She said, "We've got our fingers crossed for today." I know this is a city of volunteerism. We were that in 2002. We're still that today. And that spirit of Olympic love is part of, I think, what's gone into the maintenance of our amazing Olympic facilities. We are a unique city in this world to have maintained the facilities and the spirit of the Olympics the way that we have. We're ready to go, we're excited, and on behalf of the City Council, we welcome this news.
Great.
Yay,
Thank you. I'm going to turn some time over now to Jeff Robbins and Fraser Bullock to say a few words as well. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Does this mean I don't have to use ready, willing, and able anymore? I don't know. Maybe you guys get a break from that. Do I have to still use it? Okay, well, I guess not. You know, it started with a vision back in about 2000, this legacy vision of preparing for a future games, and people thought it was silly. We met with the USOC hierarchy in Reno in 2006, had a lunch, and they said, well, golly, you just had them in 2002. Isn't this a bit early? And so when you start looking at the efforts of all the people, the team around us, it's been almost 18 years that we've been looking at this date, seeing if we could create the enthusiasm and keep the enthusiasm, the venues, all of the things we've been doing. But it starts with a vision with our public officials. If you don't have your public officials supporting you in the Olympic movement, and when you have the governor, the mayor, the city council, the county council, all of the people that you see around the table, and it was just not this year. This is going all the way back to Governor Levin and in between. So I'm grateful for all the teamwork that's gone into this, for the vision of our public officials to invest in our venues, in sport, and we're thrilled. We're thrilled. And I'd also like to congratulate Denver. Denver's a great sports city, and I know they were hoping that this turned out for them. And so we're part of the Olympic family, and certainly hats off to Denver for all their time and effort, because I know that they were hoping that they could be in the situation we are today. So thanks again to everybody. Thanks for you guys to coming, and go Team Utah.
Well, let's see, about 16 years ago, I remember being in Olympic Stadium here in Utah. 55,000 people in the stadium, 2.1 billion people from around the world watching, where we welcomed the world. It was a special time. Our state and our city became so unified, where we all wanted to show our best, and indeed we did. And now we have the opportunity to do it again, where we can bring our city, our citizens, our state all together for this great purpose to host the world under the umbrella of sport, to bring unity, not only to our community, but as best we can to the world. So it's wonderful to be able to do it again. I'm so excited. I love the support we have here. That is our greatest strength, is our unity that we have. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to introduce Catherine Rainey Norman to come speak on behalf of the athletes that will be a part of the next Winter Olympic Games. So,
well, thank you, everybody. Thank you to everybody behind me, as well as the other athletes that helped participate in putting this bid together. It was an amazing effort. I was extremely fortunate to compete in 2002, and it's one of the highlights of my life by far. And I think it's absolutely amazing to be a part of this team, to be able to bring that experience back again for our community, for our future athletes, for our kids that are coming up. I have a 1.5-year-old son, and I am thrilled that he'll get to experience this. And so thank you to everybody along the way who's been a part of sustaining this legacy here. We've had volunteers that still come out since 1998. They're a part of this still. So we have the Olympic spirit, we have the Olympic pride, and I am so thankful to be a part of it and to be able to have the games come back. So thank you.
great, thank you. And then Council Member Jim Bradley is here from the county to speak on behalf of the county.
Well, yes, and let me just say that the Salt Lake County Council unanimously supports this effort, and congratulations to you, Mayor and Governor, for all of your efforts. Salt Lake County is willing and able to provide whatever is necessary. We have our Salt Palace ready again for Olympic Central, and we've kept the ice venues and the other venues that we have that made 2002 so successful ready and waiting. So let's bring them on, and we're there. Thank you.
So we'll take questions now, and if you want to do individual interviews or we just want to do a big round, that's great. You know, I'm super excited because our community really mirrors some of the new agenda that the Olympic Committee is promoting, and part of that is being able to host a sustainable games that is modern and really focused on the athletes. And I know that this community can deliver that, along with our partners that likely will be a part of this endeavor, like Park City and Summit County and, you know, Ogden and others. So for me and for this city, we are confident that we will deliver the kind of games that really is about being a sustainable game, and really one that is about the future and what it means to be a part of a sustainable community.
Mayor, when you took the call, did the USOC committee members say anything about what strength Salt Lake City's bid offers that perhaps Denver's didn't? Did they indicate to you what put you over the top?
You know, they didn't compare the two cities at all in the call. They certainly conveyed to us that we have really shown that our due diligence of maintaining venues and hosting year-round Olympic events here or Olympic-related events here really is an important feature about what makes this community one of the top choices for a potential future games. And we're very proud of that legacy. We certainly couldn't do it without the state or the foundation that was structured And we know that that legacy that we have built upon will be everlasting in this community moving forward.
Mr. Bullock, is this what you had in mind when you laid the foundations of the foundation? When you set forth this sort of legacy effort, is this what you were gunning for?
Well, I think there are two important parts to the legacy. One is the venues, and that is where we set aside $76 million at the end of our games to be able to support these venues going forward. And now we see the most utilized venues in the entire world, which is very different than what we see in other cities. That's one part. But then the other part, and that's the Utah Olympic Legacy Foundation, the other part is the Utah Sports Commission led by Jeff, which has been fabulous in driving all these events year round. So the marriage between the facilities and the Sports Commission is a great marriage to have a great legacy.
So supporters in the running and anybody else in the running that you know, and how are we going to beat those guys?
So we are not competing right now for a particular winter games. What the call was that we are a U.S. city that has been selected by the USOC for a potential future Winter Olympic bid.
Does that mean 2026 is the running now? Or?
That means that no date has been selected.
Good try, though.
And that we stand ready, willing, and able, and we are very excited that we will be the next U.S. city for a future Winter Olympic bid.
Mayor, the USOC news release is a little more specific. It says Salt Lake City was selected to represent the United States in a potential 2030 bid to host the Olympic and Paralympic.
Huh?
Okay. And I'm
Okay.
even better. They are focused.
We like that idea.
That decision won't be made until 2023 by the
Right.
IOC, the National Olympic Committee. How do you keep momentum going when you're so far out?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the campaign actually starts now in a low-key way because there's so much work to do, but it really gears up about 2 years before they select a city, where you have to start putting forward your plans to the IOC. There's a lot of work that has to be done to prepare for a bid. It's very extensive, it's very laid out. So there's about 2 years of work in anticipation of a decision, but even before then, there's a slow ramp to that work.
Could you talk more specifically about what the effort is over the next few years?
Yeah, in that effort, they actually have a bid outline where there are things like you have to put in place a host city contract. You have to secure agreements with your venues. You have to secure agreements with hotel rooms to meet all the needs. So it's a lot of work that's detail work, but it's also a lot about vision. What are you trying to accomplish? And the mayor was great about the vision of what we're trying to do, sustainable games, so we can work on that vision now, which is really fun.
Mr. Bullock, where did $1.4 billion come from if you're not asking for taxpayer funding?
Yes, so what's nice about that, we are asking for no state and local funding. So about $650 million comes from the IOC from broadcast and sponsorships. The next amount of money is about $300 million from ticketing. Then we have merchandising, like these wonderful coats that people are wearing right now, where we sell those. And then we have domestic sponsorships. Utah companies can be sponsors. And when you add all that up, it adds up fairly comfortably to $1.4 billion.
And when was the last time you wore that jacket?
Probably last week. I wear it all the time.
He wears it all the time.
He doesn't let us forget.
Yeah, yeah.
What would be different about these games as opposed to 2002 games? Would it be a rewrap of what we saw, or what do you envision as being different?
No, this will be an entirely new games experience, and we're very excited to bring that vision to fruition. That is part of the work that will get done over the next several months, is working on what this potential game will be and what the kind of the motto of the game will be, right? The other piece to this, again, goes back to creating sustainable games, where all the transportation options are driven by renewable energy. And we have really, truly a green opportunity here to transition our communities to really deliver on that vision that the USOC and the IOC have for the future Winter Olympic Games. So that will be part of the work that gets done. You will see potential new venues in play. When we think about hockey, for instance, one of the things we kind of envisioned was how great it would be to have some of the hockey games outside. And so when we think about that, what do? Do we take it to the Rio Tinto Stadium maybe and create an ice sheet there and have new games there? So there's a ton of potential for delivering these games in a greater way. And we also know that the University of Utah is already expanding their stadium for us. And we've already done tremendous work out at the ice oval and more work going on at the ski jump. So great things are happening to really create a different feel and a look to the games. Do you want to add to that?
Sure. One of the commitments we made to the USOC and we put forward in our book was we're going to reimagine the games. We're going to think outside of the box. We're going to do things differently. So there's a lot of changes since 2002 and a lot of new things that have happened. Heck, there was not Twitter in 2002, right? If you start looking at the social media world. So we believe there's opportunities in a lot of places. Twitter, can you imagine without Twitter, how good it would be sometimes? And so there's a way to do things so much differently in this games with the social media elements alone. As the mayor said, there's big air, there's new events now coming on the horizon that maybe new venues could be put into place. But one of the commitments we made and one of the things that we all talked about as we put the bid forward was the need to reimagine things. And, Bicycle Stadium is a great example. They're going to build that and it's going to be different. Vivid Arena is a great example. It's not the same arena it was. So that was a commitment we made to the USOC, and that'll be kind of fun to do that, won't it?
Yeah.
Because we get to think for once. I mean, it's kind of this fun visioning thing. So
Let me just make a mention, if I can. As the governor of the state of Utah and working with the other governors, I can tell you it's hard to overstate the significant importance of us hosting the 2002 Winter Olympics. It was really Utah's kind of coming out party where people discovered us with kind of new eyes and a new understanding of the sophistication of Utah. We're not just a country bumpkin, a little western state here nestled at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. So the opportunity for us to do it again was set by those who led us in 2002. Fraser talks about the economics of it. It is hard to host an Olympic Games, summer or winter. It's very expensive. The fact that we have the venues in place, maybe with a little refurbishing, maybe some other opportunities thinking outside the box, as the mayor said, but we can do it more economically than any other place, probably in not only America, but maybe the world. So we are a great location to, in fact, host. The mayor talked about some of the things we're doing, but she didn't mention our new airport. $3.6 billion airport, which is going to make it so convenient for people to fly in here from all parts of the world and access the venues. You can't find that in virtually any other venue in the world today, the convenience of being here. So you look at the venues, you look at the beauty of our state, the beauty of our people, the volunteerism, those aspects of it make us really the sensible, logical choice to host a future Winter Olympics. So we're looking for that opportunity.
Governor, those of us who were here before remember how big a problem housing was, not just for athletes, but for staff and crew and everybody else, and there were warehouses full of cops. I'm going to Airbnb my house, but what else is going to be done to maybe alleviate that problem?
Well, who knows? That's going to be a list. I mean, this journey is not just one step today. It's many steps tomorrow to get us to the actual Olympic bid where the IOC says in 2030 or 2034 that we are the choice. So the challenges we'll have to analyze and look at. By the way, the support of the private sector should not be diminished at all. This really is a team effort. leadership here you see demonstrated by government, but the private sector is a significant part of this effort. The fact that we have 80% plus support from the general public out there means we have a team in place that will look at these challenges and we'll find solutions for them, just like we did in 2002. As I mentioned, the only way you could have a better Winter Olympic game than 2002 is if Utah does it again.
Yeah, right. One other element to that is the county is moving forward on the convention hotel, and we also have many other new hotels as well. So I anticipate that not only will the new international airport be complete before these games, but a convention hotel will probably be complete as well. So thank you again, everyone. And if you want to do individual interviews, grab people and we'll stick around to help do that. Thank you.